XD10S winch, Zeon, Motobilt Tomahawk frame chop bumper install. Right now, let's go. These are the anti-crush brackets that go inside the frame channel here. And I actually had to trim. You can see how much this is here. I had to trim this out to get over the sway bar brackets that go in there. So these just go in there and kind of line up with the holes there. So this is a really exciting day for me. I've been waiting to put this bumper on my Jeep for over a year and a half, possibly close to 2 years. I did all the work prior to putting this bumper on that you see about a year ago. I shaved my frame down. I took off all the supports that were underneath it. You had to do a bunch of cutting and grinding. And I've had it with no bumper for probably over a year. And so this day, I'm just super excited to finally be able to get this new bumper on. Okay, now we got 4 of these nylock nuts and 4 washers to put on those bolts I just pushed in there. So pretty simple stuff here. This is kind of actually the hard part, is getting these nuts in there because there's not a whole lot of space up in here. Okay, those 2 are on. Still got to tighten everything up. So on this one here, I got to back out just a little ways because I can't get the nut on with it pushed all the way in. So I'm going to back it out just a little bit until I can get this frickin' nut on there. Because the nut actually hits the radiator. That's how close it is. Once you get this nut tight, then it won't be an issue. Now I can tighten this back up, all the way back up in there. Yeah, now we got clearance there, so we are good. Okay, now all I have really left to do is just get a 19mm wrench, put it on the back side, tighten all these up real good. Put those 2 other, where the sway bar goes, put those 2 bolts on this side, 2 in on that side, tighten these top 2, tighten these 2. Bumper is done. Then we'll get the winch set in here and start installing that bad boy. So that should be cool. Oh my gosh, this already feels like so solid. This thing's heavy for what it is. It's heavy. Okay, start tightening up some stuff here. Some of the features of this Motobilt Tomahawk frame chop bumper is the high clearance upswept design, the integrated winch mount, the recessed holes for the winch mounting, the integrated fair lead mount, 2 winch routes, the multiple sway bar mounting options, the bolt-on design, or you can option to weld it on if you would like. It ships as bare steel. I elected to go with a semi-gloss hammer powder coat, and it weighs in at 65 pounds. Some of the benefits is the increased approach angle, the multiple different winches that you can put on it, the routing where you can actually suck down your front suspension to go up steeper inclines and not have that spring you back and bring your front end over. The optional bull bar guards the winch if you want to do the optional bull bar. And you can also color match it to whatever color you would like. I am loving how this thing is looking. It looks freaking sweet. The black on black, I think, is a perfect match. Tell me, what do you guys think? Think it looks all right? I know it looks a little naked without a winch on here, but right now I'm really liking it. So let me know. Everything's all tightened up, so next thing is to get the winch set on. And like I said, I've never put a winch on before, but I believe it's pretty straightforward. We'll set the winch on. There's 4 nuts that we need to put in the winch legs, the little feet of the winch itself. 4 nuts you put in there. Then I believe you just have 4 bolts that go up from the bottom. I'm sure they have some washers and lock washers you put on, and I might throw a little bit of red Loctite on those since they're not, they might be nylocks, I'm not sure, but if they're not nylocks, I'll put some red Loctite on them and cinch those things down. And then we got to get the fair lead put on here. We'll put the fair lead on and then get the rope installed onto the winch, get that sucked up, and wrap up the winch. And I don't think I'll actually do the, like, I gotta hook the winch up to something like a tree, or we have a post here in our garage I could probably winch to and pull up my Jeep to really get that winch line on there nice and tight and organized. I don't know if we'll do that today. We'll see. I gotta run the wires, so we'll see. We'll play by ear. So let's get the winch put on and see what she looks like. So I guess there's a little trick that I've seen a few people do on YouTube, and that's putting a couple of dabs of silicone on the nuts and then inserting the nuts into these little feet here on the winch, and it kind of just holds the nut in place. I'm gonna try to do it without the silicone first, and if it's proven to be a real hassle, then I'll go grab a tube of silicone and do that trick. But I think I should be able to do it without the silicone. I don't think it's too big of a deal. Here is the fair lead that it comes with. Nice. I think that'll look really sharp on there. I'm just gonna run the stock hook for now until I can afford to get a newer style one. This is the piece that's kind of like the key that holds the winch line on the winch itself. So there's a little key in there. You pull it tight and suck it up. I'll show you that when we go to do that. This is what we're after. I always try to set everything out nice and neat. I believe I should just be able to put those in there after I set the winch. Probably not going to be that easy once I get it in there, though. Oh, yeah. It is heavy. Bend at the knees. I don't have to bend. It's the nice. It's kind of a nice thing. And a ratcheting wrench would be really nice right about now. But I had to be a genius and sell all my good tools. Okay, so these winch mounting nuts, they're proven to be a real pain in my back. You know what I'm saying? There's not a whole heck of a lot of room, and a ratcheting wrench would have been the perfect solution. I couldn't get a wobbly up in there. I couldn't get a ratchet with a socket in there. It just was not enough room. But a ratcheting wrench would have just made this a piece of cake. So this took quite a bit of time. Right now I have it sped up 400%, and my neck was killing me. Holding my head up like that and trying to just get like a quarter turn out of each time, and then I'd have to readjust the wrench on the nut or on the bolt. It was just a real pain in the ass, but I got it done. I guess that's all that matters. And those are nylock nuts that the bolt is threading into, so there was no need for any Loctite whatsoever. Everything should be good. I had to take a few breaks while doing this because holding my head up like that was very uncomfortable, but it was a good workout for my double chin, so that's always good. Anyways, we'll continue through this and move on to the next thing we got to do. Ow! Ay, ay, ay. Of course. Gotta bleed. Always. Sure. All right. So now it's time to get the winch line installed onto the spool, I guess you call it. What do you call that? The drum. And this was proving to be pretty challenging. Originally, I put it in the wrong way, pulled it all the way through, went to put the keyway in, and figured out that once I like was pulling and pulling and pulling on it and sucking that key down, the key wasn't setting in where it needed to. And I'm like, what is going on? And finally, I figured out that I was putting it in the wrong way. So I undid it, took it all back out, retied the wire on the rope, the winch line, and then inserted it the right way. So now here I am working on putting it in the right way and tugging it and tugging it and tugging it. And at this point in time, I've been working on this off and on the whole day, and I'm getting pretty wore out. My back's killing me, and I'm just losing energy. So I tugged and tugged on this, and I got it pretty well, the keyway pretty well inset where it needs to be. But um, I ended up just calling it a day after getting this rope pretty, just basically after getting the keyway sucked in as far as I could. I just said, forget it. And I called it a day. And then on the next day, which would have been Sunday, or would have been, yeah, no, it would have been Saturday because this is Friday after work. So it would have been Saturday. I got up, finished my connecting my winch rope onto the drum of the winch, wrapped it all up. I had to run the power. So I ran the power to my battery. I'll throw in a little bit of B-roll showing you how I routed my cables and hooked it up to my battery. And I sucked up the winch line and I called it a day. I still need to take it to work and hook it up on a pole and do a, set the e-brake and actually pull the winch ends where it's nice and tight and organized. All the rope is all nice and organized on the drum. Right now, I just have it wrapped up good enough, and I will get it done right at work here one of these days when I have a little bit of free time to do it. So yeah. Anyways, that's my video of installing the Motobilt Tomahawk frame chop winch bumper and the Warn Zeon XD 10S winch. Both of these are super nice. I'm really happy with the result. I can't wait to get up into the mountains, pull some trees out, hopefully not myself out, maybe somebody else out would be cool, and just give this winch a good test and see how it performs. So look for those videos in the near future. My next video is going to be about installing the Motobilt inner fender liners that I just bought for the front, so we can get the whole front of the Jeep pretty much finished off. So look forward to that video coming up very soon, and we will catch you guys in the next video. All right, you guys, take care.